So we've seen Mock Draft 1.0 dissecting Jalen Carter out of Georgia. I'm joined now by a guy who knows a thing or two about Georgia football and the Atlanta Falcons. You've seen him on Rise Up Tonight with Kelly Price and Tori McElhaney. He is voice actor, influencer, Ethan Trace. Ethan, you're a big Falcons fan. Tell me who you think Atlanta is going to go after at pick number 8.
Well, let's look at everything that's happened in the offseason. We finished, 7-10. 8 of our losses were by 7 points or less, which is a drastic improvement from last year. So what I'm thinking is we went into the offseason with the biggest concern being all the holes that we need to fill on defense. And then free agency hit, and we signed almost every hole that we need. Like, let's just take a look. We have Jesse Bates at safety. We had Eddie Goldman, who we just brought out of retirement from the Bears for defensive tackle. Like, they're going out to people I didn't even think were possible. And we have Ryan Nielsen so far has been my favorite hire in this offseason. Yes. And because it seems like we got a bunch of people suddenly interested coming to play defense for us now with him on staff, because we also got Caden Ellis and David Onyemata. Yes. And I'm just like, this is a dream come true, and we haven't even hit the draft yet. So with all these positions filled and who we just brought in on offense too, which takes down our concerns for wide receiver, because let's look at who we got. For starting offense, we have Desmond Ridder at quarterback, and we have Taylor Heineke as his backup. That was an amazing sign. Cheap veteran who's going to be a great mentor, great backup for Desmond Ridder. Really looking forward to seeing what Ridder can do. And if Heineke's going to come out there, we've all seen Heineke ball. And people who know ball.
Very well against the Falcons too.
Exactly. If you know ball, you cannot be mad about the Taylor Heineke signing. This dude is a baller. He came in as a second or third string backup for the Commanders and just started balling out. Absolutely. He will be able to do anything that Desmond Ridder can't do. And Desmond Ridder's first 4 game stats, might I add, weren't they almost identical to Patrick Mahomes' first 4 games? Is that what I remember?
It's a lofty comparison, but it's not far-fetched, I'll say that.
Exactly.
Regarding first 4 starts.
Exactly. And we have Desmond Ridder as the starter, and people are like, what do we do about Ridder? Let's see what he can do. He's played 4 games and got better with each game, and he has a tremendous connection with Drake London, which that is what I'm more excited to see too. So we have Desmond Ridder, then we have Tyler Algier, who was my favorite player to watch on offense.
He was everyone's favorite player.
Man, I don't remember the last time. I gotta say, was it Michael Turner? Was the last time I saw a fun running back to watch? Because I would say Devontae Freeman had like a good first year, but after that, I felt his contract
wasn't
doomed
as consistent.
No. Yeah. His contract doomed us, and then we were stuck with him. Then Julio Jones and the Matt Ryan contract, limiting what other kind of talent we could sign. And in addition, we signed Mac Hollins to wide receiver. We have Drake London at wide receiver. We have Kyle Pitts coming, but with the new Jonnu Smith signing to tight end, and we just re-signed Parker Hesse too. We think Kyle Pitts might be more of a wide receiver, wide out type situation for this year. I don't think we should be necessarily looking for a wide receiver until next year, possibly. So that being said, positions that we need to fill: edge rusher, cornerback, maybe throw in a running back there, and a safety.
Why not?
So everybody's debating, do we need an edge rusher or do we need a cornerback? Because people have most recently brought into the discussion Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback for Oregon. And I've seen his highlights. They look incredible. The dude's like, 6'4". He is great all-around awareness. But the thing you got to look at for each of the positions in this draft is the edge rusher is the position to grab. Because let's say we don't grab a cornerback at pick number 8, there will still be some great cornerbacks on the board in the second round when we get to pick 44. But I cannot say that for the edge rusher. So, realistically, with the Jalen Carter situation, obviously we had the off-field situation going on. He's clearly going through a lot. I wish him the best. We already know what he can do. Everybody who's watched ball knows that this season was highlight reel enough for Jalen Carter. Dude is a monster in the trenches. I have not seen anybody else handle 3 linemen at the same time He is an absolute
The Georgia
monster.
defense in and of itself.
Absolutely.
Trayvon Walker, Jordan Davis, and Jalen Carter all sharing the same backfield. It's not fair.
If Carter does fall to number 8, I think he would be a great pickup, but I'm also being realistic here. I don't think that the recent events are going to affect Jalen Carter's draft stock as much as some people are saying it will. So I'm saying I would love to draft Jalen Carter if he's still there at number 8. We need to grab him, but I think he's going to go at pick 5 or 6 to like the Seahawks or somebody. Sure. So we have the edge rushers. We have Will Anderson. Obviously, Will Anderson's going to be a number 3 pick, probably for the Cardinals. Going to be a great pickup. And then we have Luca Van Ness, who is Iowa. They had a great defense, but I mainly see Luca Van Ness as more of a bull rusher. I don't know how his matchups are going to be against NFL offensive linemen. So with the pickups that we just got for the defensive linemen, we have Eddie Goldman, we have Grady Jarrett, we have David Onyemata, and a bunch of other people. I think the best pick here is going to be Nolan Smith from the University of Georgia. Now, I know that there's a size concern because no NFL edge rusher last year was under 240 pounds, but Nolan gives us a little bit more of an option to work with while we have all the other bigger guys on the line for brute strength. Nolan has speed and evasiveness, and he is hungry and ready to get to the quarterback, and that is what we need. I think Nolan Smith at number 8.
So Nolan Smith at number 8, another Georgia Bulldog. Can't go wrong at that point. It seems like it's been a curse for the Falcons drafting Georgia players because it seems like they haven't done a whole lot of that the last couple of years. They actually did do it last year in the later rounds with guys like Justin Schaefer, but Nolan Smith seems like his draft stock has been rising tremendously, especially after his NFL Combine performance and what he did at Pro Day. Now, specifically about Nolan Smith with the Falcons, what do you like from him that you think matches well with the Falcons defense?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because we compared, there's a bunch of other great talent here, but I think that Nolan Smith brings a lot more to the table. Because let's look at what happened in the past couple of years. Nolan Smith has more charisma than anybody I've seen in college football in a while. The only person I've seen in the pros that has that much charisma, who I wish we could have gotten in free agency but went to the Saints, was Jamal Williams. Now, let's look at last season. Nolan unfortunately got injured halfway through the season with a pec injury, but that did not stop him from contributing to the team. He's a natural-born leader. He was still out there grinding every second with his teammates, making sure that they were reading the defense, making sure they were holding each other accountable, and I think that that is the element that we need for the Atlanta Falcons. I think that we need somebody who's going to be a great potential future leader, because you look at the stars like Grady Jarrett and all that we have now, they're not going to be here forever. Grady Jarrett is without a doubt the leader of the Falcons defense right now, but we need somebody who can bring more charisma, unite our defense more, give it that Georgia mentality. Like, the thing that scares me about Georgia's defense that we've seen in the past 3-4 years is that they are hard hitters, they are fast, and they are hungry. But the thing that I've seen is that they work as one. And that's what I would love to see come to this Falcons defense. I would love to see Nolan bring some spark and life into this defense. He's great with the reads. He's great for holding his teammates accountable. And he's just a great all-around guy. And I think that that's definitely what the Falcons need more than anything right now.
So our viewers can't see this right now for all of you watching. Ethan's wearing a Georgia belt right now. So here's the question. Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith are available at pick 8. Who should the Falcons pick with both those guys on the board?
I think if we're going for long term, that we should probably go with Jalen Carter. Because, again, Jalen is just an absolute unit. He's vicious. I don't see much of anybody stopping him on that offensive line in the NFL. And, you know, that's just what it's going to come down to. It's like, who is going to be better for the long term for the Falcons? And I say Jalen Carter, but I'm also being realistic. I still think that other teams are interested. So it's probably going to be Nolan Smith, if you're asking me.
So there you go. The Georgia man likes both Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith if Jalen's taken. If Jalen's still on the board, Jalen Carter appears to be the guy, if I'm quoting you correctly there.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, those are our first two for Mock Draft 1.0. Tune in next week. We'll have a dissection of another Falcons prospect, and we'll bring in another guest to chat about it. For now, I'm Miles Garrett. He's Ethan Trace. We're here to talk Atlanta Falcons draft.